I was really excited because I was having such a good time watching it that I went out and did ballet leaps in my garden. Yeah, that's what a dork I am. And landed incorrectly and shattered my foot. And I called John Copeland, the producer, immediately and said, oh my God, you know, what are we going to do? And he called Joe, and by the next day, he had the whole script for the next episode, which ended up being one of my favorite episodes, which was the Drowsy episode.
Yeah.
The purple-green thing. Had it not been for the broken foot, and I had begged for more humor from Ivanova, whether it was dry humor or whatever. I said, she's got to have a sense of humor. I mean, she's got to, well, sorry, kid, hole up her butt. That's what I said during the whole first season. But after second season, they suddenly started incorporating some things into it. So I think that was sort of a pivotal moment.
What about the thing with Paul Williams that?
The whole, oh yeah.
Dance.
Well, that was also my fault, once again, because Claudia had to say to Joe, wouldn't it be fun if I had even more sense of humor? I mean, the Drowsy one was great. So when I read that, I said, wait a minute. It's described this dance that I'm supposed to be doing with pyramid, wait, what? Egyptian movements, and I said, well, who's choreographing this? And he said, oh no, you're choreographing it. And you're gonna do the song, and you're gonna improvise. All he gave me was a couple words, so I had to come up with that whole silly thing myself. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna do it once, and I'll never do it again in my entire life. So you better have film in the camera, and no hairs in the gate, and it better be recorded, because I'm never doing this again. And I did one take. They had 2 cameras on me just to catch it, because I refused to ever do that again. Especially the end of it. And Harry Met Sally moment, yeah. That was funny. Anybody else? Yes?
So, as your character evolved, would you say that you had some input into that, or you were basically adding to what the script was and it was kind of like a feedback process?
I think what happened was Joe watched us off camera, and certainly a lot of things were incorporated in. I, in my real life, lost my brother, and suddenly there became the thing about wearing one earring for my dead brother on Babylon 5. So it was like, you know, things started, and he watched that we were, you know, Bruce and I were quite pranksters and funny, and Jerry and I. So suddenly you notice that our personalities came into play, I believe. So I think it was an observation, and also just he's a really good writer. So he did get the sense that these people were real, and that's what is unique. Mostly in television, it's very, you know, they're not very rich characters, you know, especially back in those days. And these were fallible human beings, and the aliens were fascinating. I mean, imagine trying to make something interesting when you're wearing 10 pounds of cardboard on your head, you know, and still they were, you know, they were. Each character was written beautifully. Did you have your hand up, or you're just stretching?
No, you're just stretching.
You're stretching, okay. Anybody else? Yes.
You really should sometime watch it.
Yeah.
And that way you can see it the way we saw it. You know, without all the distraction, you can see. It's even more astounding, I think, when you realize
I think that's the reason why it did so well in England, is because it showed every single Friday night and it repeated on Sunday, but it showed all in a row. Whereas in America, my mother lives in Colorado. She never saw Babylon 5. She thought I was lying. You know, no, I'm on TV, Mom. Really? What show? Babylon 5. She goes, we don't get that up in Aspen, Colorado. They never even showed it up there. And in New York, people would say, oh yeah, I saw you on at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, that was it. So I think in England, the reason why it became so successful is because it was on every single Friday with a repeat on Sunday, so you got to the feeling of the whole thing. And when I was approached to write a novel about B5, you know, I started watching all the episodes and just realizing, wow, I had no idea. I had only seen 3 episodes out of the 88 that I did. I had never even seen the 2 movies I did. So for me, it was like watching something from the, you know, very, very, I don't watch my stuff. I mean, I just do it and I move on. And this was, I found myself getting very moved. You know, when I died, I was like, you know, I was crying over my own death. It was so pathetic. But I thought, that's really sad. She shouldn't die. Oh, it's me. Shut up. What are you talking to me? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's the whole dual personality thing. No, but, yeah, it was interesting. It's good, it's a good show. Yeah, you're right. You win. Anybody else?
Was it hard writing your book?
What?
Was it hard writing your book? I mean, do you have a book?
Can you speak up?
Do you have a book writing background where you?
A book writing background?
Yeah, where you-
I have a writing background. I've written some scripts and I've written a couple of books, but this will be the first. Most of them were self-published, like children's books and stuff like that. This is going to be the first, like, big, book that's coming out. But then I also have more writing gigs that I'm doing now. So by next year, I should have about 5 things out as a writer, which I'm excited about. I do enjoy it. It's great. Yeah, and I'm about to go back home in 2 weeks and go do a film in Romania. So that's my next project. Be fun. Action, guns, sort of stuff.
What's it called and what will you play?
It's called The Dot Man, and I'm either going to play the female lead, which is the head of the CIA, or I'm going to take the other role of a British soldier who is very traumatized from the war that's going on right now. So either way, I'm happy with both parts. So. Anybody else? No? Yes.
Did you do Lancelot Guardian of Time with Mark Sr.?
You had to bring that up. Yeah, let's talk about Claudia's worst films. Okay.
No.
Lancelot Guardian of Time with Mark Singer, yeah, from Beastmaster, has to be up in the top 3. The other worst film I've ever done is Maniac Cop 2. Notice they have numbers in a lot of them. Substitute 3, yeah, Babylon. That was a good job. Yeah. Let's just say Lancelot Guardian of Time, the CGI effects on that film, this is how you have to be polite about it. Boy, I've never quite seen anything like that before, Claudia. Very unique. A movie I'll never forget. Yeah, it's a piece of, you know what. Hey, it was a job, pays the rent. I was very young. What else do you want to bring up to embarrass me? Now that I'm bright red now.
To embarrass you? No.
No, how about Space Rangers? Oh, great. No.
Your job is still better than most of our jobs.
Well,
So come on.
yeah. I suppose in some ways, not really, but yeah, the problem with acting is that when you're doing it, it's great. When you're not, I love the old acting joke of the guy who hasn't worked in 20 years, and suddenly he gets this big film with Julia Roberts, and it shoots in July and August, and he says to his friends, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing a feature film with Julia Roberts. I mean, you've been unemployed for so long." He goes, "Yeah, but I was going to take an holiday during that time." Typical actor, as they say. Yeah, you get a job and you bitch about it.
Do you find fairly steady work acting, or?
Do I find what?
Fairly steady work acting, or?
I'm quite blessed. I've never had another job. I've acted since I was 5, and I've never had to wait tables or do anything. So, I mean, I am good at real estate, so I guess that's been helping. And I do write, so that's another thing that I enjoy. But yeah, I mean, I go from play to movie to, I just did the Edinburgh Festival for a month, and then I'm doing this movie, and I just did 2 series in London, and I do voiceover work. In a perfect world, I'd be able to spend half the time in America and half the time there, because the winters just suck. In England, they are the worst. Did you have a question?
Oh, well,
back
you
there?
already answered my question, because I was gonna ask if you'd
What's
ever
that?
done, theater on the stage rather than film, but you said you did the Edinburgh Festival.
Do I prefer either?
Well, yeah, do you prefer?
You know what, the problem with theater is that it does, unless you're really in love with the play, it does get a bit tiresome. But on the other hand, you get the satisfaction of every night. You can see the audience reaction, you can feel their energy, but sometimes the audience stinks, and they're mean, and they just stare at you. I mean, I did, in the Edinburgh Festival in August of this year, I did an hour-and-a-half play to one person. And it was a 2-hander, so there's only 2 of us starring in it. it's a thriller, and it's guns and handcuffs, and there was one kid in the audience, which after the show goes on. Now, what is this one kid gonna do? I mean, he was trying his best. He was going, and when he finished, it was like, but it's still one person, it's one little kid. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, because it's, I can't see him, I don't want to make eye contact. I thought, well, maybe he's a reviewer. The lights go off, the kid's 15 years old. I'm just and he's like, oh man, thanks. So sorry, you just played the whole play to me. It's like, you paid your $8, honey. You got a show, But at the end of the day, you go, I mean, that's a lot of energy to put out for absolutely nothing. But on the other hand, you could do a really bad job in a good film, and it's more effective in ruining your career. So, I mean, in a perfect world, I would be back on a television series because I like the feeling of the family, and I like working with the same people every week, and I enjoy that. And I love doing films too. Theater, you really, really have to dig it to do it. I mean, one of my friends is in Mamma Mia right now, Sue Ann Braun from Stargate, and it's tough. 7 shows a week, 8 shows a week. I was doing a show every single night, and that's not even what normal theater is, because you've got normally a matinee and an evening performance, and it's your life. All you do is go to the theater, do your shows, go home, go to the theater, So you really have to love the piece of theater in order to pull it off. And I didn't like the play I did, so that didn't help at all. But I did it. So I got through it. It was fine. Hi. Okay, I get the hint. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I came in late, this may have already been asked, but what is a typical day for you?
What's a typical day for me?
Yeah, like starting and finishing.
Well, since I moved to London, I do a lot more walking because I don't drive there. Usually go to the park, and I usually write for a few hours a day and go on auditions and run my various other businesses. I mean, it's not an office job. I've never had a 9-to-5 job in my life, so I wouldn't know what it was like. But you're just constantly. I mean, I've made 5 albums as a singer-songwriter. I write books. I write short stories. So I've always got something going. I made cooking shows. I go to school. I went to journalism school. I went to directing school. I directed a TV series 2 years ago. So I'm constantly doing stuff, but it's not like 10 o'clock you've got a meeting with the board or whatever. It's not. It's much more of it's an artist's life, which is, can be great in the freedom of it. That aspect I love, but the insecurity of your future is what I don't love. It's just, every day it's like Vegas. You roll the dice, you go, ooh, look, I just got a movie. Oh, this is great. I don't have to worry, And then the next day they go, no, it's been put back by 4 months. So your life is constantly changing. Yeah. Hi. Am I done? Yeah.
You're ready.
Okay. Anybody else? Any last questions?
What did you direct?
Sorry?
What did you direct?
Star Hike is a TV series that I did in Britain. That's why I actually first moved out there. We shot it in Bristol, and it's 6 episodes. It's actually quite fun. Good. I'm going to go back to England, and they're going to be showing it at the NEC, and I think we may finally have a purchaser for it, so it'll be on TV hopefully by next year. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun working with actors. Yes, sir.
What was it about?
It's about 30 minutes each episode. It's about a crew of people in the future that have no personality and no feelings and nothing, and then they get this thing that this alien plants on the ship, and boom, now all of a sudden they're all loving chocolate and each other. Sounds really stupid, but it's British sci-fi comedy. My name is Captain Belinda Blowhard, so you'll get a sort of idea about yeah. Dottie KY is my assistant. Okay, that's the perfect place to end, really.